Welcome to the Renegade Football Tailgate Pregame Show, brought to you by the Hard Rock Casino Tejon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Myers. Welcome in on the broadcast. Great to have everybody here. And welcome to our fans out there in the parking lot tailgating today, getting ready for a fantastic game between the Bakersfield College Renegades and the Golden West Rustlers. A fantastic show we have scheduled for you today. You will notice that I'm missing a rather tall gentleman with a full head of hair, Mr. Vance Palm. Unfortunately, came down with a little bit of an illness, so we're flying solo today. But Vance, all of us here at Bakersfield College wishing you a speedy recovery, hoping that we get you back in 3 weeks for the next contest. But in the meantime, I'm here today on the broadcast. A great show that we've got set up for you. First up, in the first quarter, going to be guest Frederick Arbone. Frederick, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools finalist for Teacher of the Year. Him along with three others. We'll have him in the first quarter. Then coming up in the second quarter, Bethany Rice. Bethany, of course, our archives director at Bakersfield College, and she's working on a big project this year, the 70-year celebration of Bakersfield College Memorial Stadium and everything that has to do with Bakersfield College sports, really on the table for today's broadcast. And then finally, of course, our benefactors, the Hard Rock Casino, joining us today, Mr. Jeff Goodman, the Vice President of Casino Operations for the Hard Rock Casino Tejon. So once again, welcome everybody, but we're going to get in on it first. A big day for football today, and it's going to be a heavy one. Of course, I'm talking about the Golden West Rustlers coming into the game today, ranked number 4 in the state. And as if the Renegades have not had enough of hard teams to face in the first 3 weeks, they are 2-1. The Rustlers are 3-0, so kind of a big season for them so far. Last week, beating Hancock 55-0, and really blanking out Hancock in just an overwhelming, dominant game. 343 yards rushing and 150 yards passing total for the Rustlers, 458 yards. They were 4 for 4 in the red zone, so a fantastic effort. Once they got into that 20-yard line and down, there was really no stopping them. 8 touchdowns by 8 different players, one of which was a defensive pick by Braden Powers, who took it 21 yards back for the score. So, of course, today, heavy running offense by the Rustlers, averaging 232 yards per game, and they're doing that on the back of their quarterback, freshman quarterback Noah Banua. Now, Banua, a 59.7 completion rate, has 570 yards so far on the season, 7 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. So he is the leader in this squad. Rushing, of course, we're going to be looking for sophomore Kendrick Thomas and Aaron Mitchell, combined nearly 400 yards so far in 3 games with 4 touchdowns. And then on the receiving end of this absolutely dominant squad, freshman wide receiver Tanner Schmidt and freshman tight end Will McKissick. Now, Schmidt, the Southern California Player of the Week this week, had 247 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, so he is going to be leaned on heavily by this Rustler squad to kind of dominate the defense over Bakersfield College today. And McKissick, a 6'3", 261-pound tight end out of St. John Bosco. He's the second leading receiver on this squad with 90 yards receiving and a touchdown. Important, though, Noah Banua, the third leading rusher on the squad, the quarterback. He's going to make you pay for it with his legs. If he doesn't have anything going downfield, be on the lookout for him to scramble, take off, and get yards with those legs. And then the run defense. Boy, I'll tell you what, 5 sophomore linebacking core in the sophomore linebacking core in Brandon Salea, along with Cruz Wheeler and Josh Kark. They will challenge the running game on Bakersfield today, and Bakersfield a heavy run program, so they're really going to have to do some blocking and get to that second level and try to find their way past one of those 3 sophomore linebackers. And they're led by defensive back Nigel Mills, along with freshman Jackson Bennett, Tayden Rogers, and Braden Powers. Once again, Powers had that pick 6 last week. They have 5 interceptions in 3 games, so a very, very effective secondary. And you know what? Honestly, Bakersfield College having a little bit of trouble with turnovers on the interception end this last week. So what we're looking at for Bakersfield College today, again, ranked number 15 in the state with a 2-1 record. The Renegades come into the season ranked 15th in the state, and the Renegades lost to Ventura 45-38. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. 2 fumbles and 3 interceptions in that game, and only lost by 1 touchdown. Now, let's go back a year. Last year, the Renegades lost a total of 5 games, and in those 5 games, by a total of 12 points. So this one, once again, a close game, had a chance to go ahead and tie it late, made a couple of mistakes at the end of the first half, And I'll tell you what they really are going to have to focus on today is ball control, hanging on to the ball and not letting it slip up. The quarterbacks, Malachi Statler, along with Carson Woods, so far, last week they had 503 yards of total offense. So between running and passing, the Renegades really mixed it up. 16 of 32 for 284 yards, and it was Carson Woods and Malachi Statler. Now, honestly, we've had a tale of two quarterbacks so far this season. Carson Woods, 4 for 8, only 4 receptions, 63 yards. Statler, though, 11 of 23 for 250 yards passing and 3 rushes for 23 yards. And as I stated last week, Malachi Statler has the ability to make things happen with his legs and hasn't really taken off too much this year, but really needs to focus on, is he going to be able to go ahead and scramble with that linebacking core for the Rustlers today? Rushing, of course, 43 yards for 219 last week with sophomore Bubba Nettles. He had 14 of those carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. And sophomore Ian Jernigan, 14 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown, but fumbled the ball twice and turned it over. So we can't really focus on giving the ball too much to Jernigan if he can't hang on to the ball. I'm hoping he does. And again, I'm a huge Ian Jernigan fan. I want to see him do well today. And then freshman Corey Watkins Jr. had 11 carries for 67 yards. So those 3 linebackers those 3 running backs really kind of holding the steady part of this offense and trying to get the run game established. Once you get the run game established, it's going to open up the receiving. And, of course, on the receiving end, we're talking about Chad Sable. He had 92 yards last week and a touchdown. And, of course, Dylan Johnson had 91 yards receiving last week with 2 touchdowns. And between the 2 of them, they're a dangerous combination. And Jaheim Alexander and Amarius Rowell, 2 of the others that we're really going to be paying some close attention to today, they got in on the action with 2 catches for 33 yards and 25 yards, respectively. So kind of hoping that the Bakersfield College Renegade offense can really do some damage. Have done a pretty good job of scoring so far this year. 33 points in the game 2 weeks ago. I had stated here on this previous broadcast that I thought the Renegades were going to get 31 points, and I wasn't wrong. They did get 31 points on offense. They had a safety, so I was exactly right, and I wish Vance Palm was here to share that information with me today, but he's not. I'm sure he will give me some grief over that on a text message soon. And then defense. Here's the big one. Sophomore defensive lineman Miles Poole. Now, when you think of a defensive lineman, you're thinking of a guy that's probably 6'5", 275 pounds. Miles Poole is 205 pounds at 6'1", but a fantastic player on the defensive end. He had 6 tackles, including 2 sacks and 3 tackles for loss last week, and a forced fumble late in the game against Ventura that kept BC in the game. So his stats move him up to actually 4th in California in stats for his position. It's going to be a battle of wills. Who's really going to be the one that is going to be California Football Association? And in that football association, it's Golden West, Bakersfield, Cerritos, Fullerton, Pasadena, East Los Angeles, Canyons, and Orange Coast. And right now, things are not looking too good for the bottom 3 teams in that league, which we will face 2 of them. And that is Canyons and Orange Coast. Both of them so far are 0-3 on the season. So it's not really looking too great for the 2 of them. Hopefully, they will find a way to go ahead and get at least a couple of wins before they face Bakersfield. But down the stretch, Bakersfield stands a much better chance of not having to fight those heavy favorited teams. And right now, they're 2-1 in their league, along with Cerritos, Fullerton, and Pasadena. So kind of looking for what are we going to find out is going to happen today. Our game time coming up today is going to be 4 o'clock. It's a little bit of an earlier game. For those of you who haven't heard the news, a fantastic new season here. It's free admission for everybody that wants to get into the stadium. Come on out, enjoy the game. It's going to be fun. 4 o'clock, great weather in the high 80s, I believe. And so we're kind of looking for a really fantastic season. Once again, missing Vance Palm today. Again, I'm Tom Myers. Great to have everybody on the broadcast. We'll be back with our first of 3 special guests coming up right after this.
Actually, it's over the head.
Oh,
it's
yes.
in the end zone. We could have a safety right here, folks.
Boom!
Wow.
Come on.
That was so big that we got an echo now. Fantastic hit right there by number 9.
Welcome back on the broadcast. I'm Tom Myers, joining you here today for the Renegade Football pregame show, brought to you by Hard Rock Casino Tejon. And great to have everybody here. Our first guest of today's program, Fred Arbone. Pardon me, you already asked me what you wanted to be called by. It's Fred. And Fred is a Kern County Superintendent of Schools finalist for Teacher of the Year. So great to have you here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
And you know what? We had a little bit of a conversation before everything, and I told you this is going to be a fun conversation because we have a little bit of a kindred spirit going. You are a special education teacher. Give us a little bit of an idea about what it is that you do.
Yes, sir. I am a special education teacher. I started working here in 2017. I actually migrated from the Philippines, and this is my 9th school year as a special education teacher. I actually teach Irving L. Branch Elementary School. It's a school located inside Edwards Air Force Base, and it's under Muroc Joint Unified School District.
Okay. What first inspired you to become a teacher, and how did your experiences in the Philippines lead you to this point?
Well, to be honest with you, I grew up in a family of teachers. So I have 2 aunts that are retired teachers, 3 of my cousins are teachers, and 1 who is actually trying to finish the profession. And they really influenced me to become a teacher. And another reason is I do have a relative who has severe autism, and I've seen her struggles as far as like being part of the community she lives in. She did not receive any services that a special education student would receive. And when I see that. I told myself I'll be advocating for her. That's why I became a special education teacher.
Yeah, you talked about building trust with your students, and what are some specific strategies that you use to give that sense of safety to those students day in, day out?
Yes. At first, I really build this connection to my students because I want them to feel comfortable with me. I want them to feel like I'm somebody who really they can trust. They can, share because, with all the things going on where they come from a disorganized home, they look at someone who really they can trust and have someone be, next to them in times of difficulties in their lives.
Yeah, you and I had a conversation about my wife is also a special education teacher here in the Kern High School District, and she understands sometimes, sometimes students are on the fringe and maybe they aren't getting some of the services that they need. Mm-hmm. How do you help students that may feel like others have given up on them?
Well, you know what? That's a very good question because when I started working here, I started writing and then even their behavior. And they realize that they're seeing their own strength during the process. And I believe that's what really makes this work worthwhile.
You've taken on leadership roles like SST coordinator and admin designee.
Yes,
How do you balance those responsibilities with working in the classroom?
Exactly. To be honest with you, it was a lot, but I took it as I see it as an opportunity for me to grow professionally. I keep even now. I do support gen ed teachers who are who needs help in supporting their students who are struggling academically and behaviorally. And I still continue to be an admin designee this school year. And this actually helps me develop my leadership roles, skills, and making sure I'm on compliance as far as like IAP services.
Yeah, you've mentioned mentoring international teachers. What kind of advice do you give to them to help them kind of be successful in a different location here in the United States?
It's tough. I keep telling them the first time they come here, I would say give grace to yourself because it's a lot. There's a lot that you need to learn and understand. Especially the new education system. I would say the culture, the behavior of the students. Those are the things that I really let them understand, and I usually tell them that. It's okay. The only thing that really hinders us from being a successful teacher here is our own perception.
Yeah, you emphasize social emotional learning and growth mindset reflections. Why do you think those practices are so critical for students today?
It's really important for the students to be ready emotionally before we start our lesson and content. And looking at the growth mindset activities really helped in my classroom a lot. And not only in my classroom, and I've seen classrooms across our schools that growth mindset activities, social and emotional learning activities really help, as far as like the transition of the daily instruction goes.
Yeah, looking back at your journey, it's been been a good one, right? What are you most proud of?
I'm proud of how I become today. I'm proud of the struggles, the trials that I've been through. That really helped me shape of how what I become today as an educator.
Okay, Fred Arbone, everybody. Great having it on, Fred.
Thank you, sir.
Hey,
Thank
coming up
you.
after this, Bethany Rice, our archives department chair here at Bakersfield College. We'll be back right after this.
Actually, it's over the head.
Oh,
It's in
yes.
the end zone. We could have a safety right here, folks.
Boom! Come on!
That was so fantastic hit right there by number 9.
Welcome back to the Renegade Football Tailgate pregame show brought to you by Hard Rock Casino Tejon, our generous benefactor. And we're going to have them on coming up in our next segment for the fourth quarter. But in the meantime, even more fun
There you go.
right here. It's Bethany Rice, Archives Director for Bakersfield College. And great to have you on the show today. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now about having you here. She's the one that dresses up our set and makes everything look great. You know, so we had a couple of handsome things on here last week. One was Vance Palm, and the other one was these guys. And actually, the funny part was when you set this thing here, I felt like somebody kept looking over my shoulder, like there was a person standing there for a while. So I don't know if you guys got a shot of some of this other stuff that we've got going on here. Great mannequins, and you guys have dressed them all up and made them look really good.
Well, thank you so much for that. And, you know, I know how you feel because try walking in on them when it's dark. You're turning on the office lights, and all of a sudden everything's staring at you.
Absolutely. Hey, so you're the Archives Director here at Bakersfield College. Give me a little bit of an explanation about what your role is for Bakersfield College and why the Archives is so important to this this college and its benefactors and people.
Well, you know what? We have over 100 years of history at Bakersfield College, and it is such a rich history, too. I mean, we have such a name in the community. We're a grounded part of it. And what I do at the Archives is preserve that history, collect those stories, and then we bring them back out to the community, and we keep them for 100 more years and more so we can share them with everybody.
Well, and I've kind of noticed that you always have some really good stuff, and you're letting us kind of handle it, which is kind of scary. I think that we're supposed to have white gloves or something. Some of this, and some of it's remarkably well preserved.
You know, and we do our best. We've got specialty, and that's why we do our, you know, our fundraisers and everything else, because we have to buy specialty boxes, all of these different things to help keep these things in such great condition. We do humidity control, temperature control, you know, the whole thing. And, you know, they can't see me, but I'm actually babysitting you right around this awning to make sure nothing goes wrong back here. So.
We had a little bit of a wind problem last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was just blowing everything all over the place. And you tried to set up, and for some reason, I don't know why, Vance Palm's area looked a little bit nicer than mine. I don't know what that was all about.
You know, we have been friends longer. I don't know what to tell you.
Vance,
and I will say I gave you guys replicas last week with that wind.
Oh,
that made me nervous. So
yeah,
that
that's
was
kind
one
of a
the
good one.
We do
So
to kinda show
what's
off.
one of the most interesting and surprising items that you've come across doing the Archives?
That is such a good question. I would say one of the best things we have is the original enrollment book from 1913 with the students' names, their grades, you know, where the classes were, that sort of thing. And it is so well preserved. You know, we don't take it out often at all, and we've got it on all of our special boxing. But it is one of the coolest things we have. And, of course, Grace used to write letters. So Grace Van Dyke Bird, longest running president of the college, would write letters off to servicemen. And that was actually kind of what the precursor to our alumni group. And we have all of those original letters she wrote and their replies back to them. So.
I spent a lot of time in that library when I went to school here back in the late 80s, early 90s.
You know, and she's a cool gal, so you'll have to learn more about her story. I think we've all spent a lot of time in that library.
I didn't spend enough, I'll tell you there. This year is the 70th anniversary of Memorial Stadium, which is a cornerstone of BC and Bakersfield College sports. I mean, we're all really proud of what this place is, but what does the milestone mean to the college and the community?
Well, and I think we've talked about that before, just how much a part of the community of Bakersfield College, so much has happened in this stadium. I mean, we've had world records broken, major wins, and it's been a great place for everyone to come together. I mean, I think one of my favorite stories were from the 1976 football team, where they said there were so many people here from Bakersfield. They were so excited that fire marshals had to come through and clear out the aisles because it was just such a gathering place for us all to boister our students and be there for them and support everyone.
We would really like to have that problem today against Golden West, I'm sure. What do you think about the legacy of Memorial Stadium, and how do you see it continuing in future generations? What can we do to fill this thing?
You know, just what we continue to do. This show is a great start. We continue to go out into the community. We've got incredible enrollment numbers here at Bakersfield College, and having our students around and getting them excited about these sports. And one of the things I love to do is to share that history with everyone, bring the alumni back and get them excited all over again. So one of my favorite things to do is to talk just like that.
Absolutely. So you're also involved in the upcoming Bakersfield College Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Banquet, and that's going to be on October 9th. Gio, I think we have a graphic for that, don't we? Yeah, and it's going to be held at Luigi's Warehouse on Thursday, October 9th, at beginning at 5:30. And for more information, you can just go to gogades.com. But a couple of people that we want to recognize for that are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The 1977 men's basketball team, Sandy Bowers, Gloria Friedman, Tyrone Crawford, Sean Barker, Brandon Banks. And I skipped 2 because you have some items for those from those people. A couple of the ones that I'm talking about. So the first one was Jan Stubbe.
Yes.
And so Jan Stubbe had contacted you guys and given you.
So back at when before he passed, and he and Debbie have done so much for this school over the years. And this is one I actually don't want to take out of the bag, but we'll kind of show it off a little bit. This is Jan Stubbe's Letterman jacket, and you can see it's got Snake written right there for him. Jerry Collis gave him that nickname. So he played 69 to 70. Debbie gave us her cheerleading uniforms. One of hers actually has a fringe poncho that was part of the uniform, which is just so cool. So that is one great way we preserve that history is people who have gone here, people who have been involved in the college, they donate back to us so we can keep showing it off to the community.
Yeah,
like
that's
this.
fantastic. And then the other one, which I'm kind of surprised because I didn't even know that he had done this, one of my broadcast partners, Rick Van Horn, had written a book and had given that book to you.
So he actually sold this book for a while. So when we had our centennial anniversary, he did the history of football here at Bakersfield College. It is amazingly comprehensive, and you know what? I keep trying to give us an update, too, since it stopped right there in 2010. So one of these days, I'll get another sequel for him.
So how does the Hall of Fame help BC's past athletes and leaders with current student body? What can we expect for that? Or are we missing anything?
No, I don't think so at all. So all these people have moved away, right? They go off, they have their lives, that sort of thing. This is their chance, their opportunity to come back. We honor their legacy. These students we have now see them get excited about the future they could have too. And so it's just such a great opportunity to have these two parties connect and really build on that excitement and what it means to be a renegade and the legacy they can both leave here.
Yeah, some of them stick around, and then they give them a microphone and put them up in the press box and make them the announcer.
I've been here since 2008 myself, so I totally get it.
It's kind of hard to lose. Anything else about this year's inductees or the event itself? I didn't give you a chance to really talk about it.
No, that's okay. We've got a lot going on. So we will have a lot of incredible artifacts there. In fact, one of the things we have on our archives website are sports press releases from games over the years. So that's something we will have the artifact actually there, but we are making them available online. We'll have a lot of photos of the different things honoring these different inductees and that sort of thing. So follow us there, follow us on Instagram, and you'll get a little taste of that event, or just go buy tickets on Go Gades, and we'd love to have you there. And
it's a Luigi steak, so if you haven't been there in a while to have that one, definitely show up for that. Last question. When you look at both the Hall of Fame and Memorial Stadium anniversary, everything's kind of happening right now. What do you hope people take away from this whole experience?
I hope they take away the excitement that's always here, right? They get excited about their time. They remember being a student here. They remember being that community member who came every Saturday. One of our board members, he remembers selling football programs at the very first football game in this stadium. And so we have the opportunity to share that legacy and continue it over the years. And that's something that I just can't wait to continue to capture, just like we've been capturing.
Once again, Bethany Rice, everybody, Archives Director here at Bakersfield College. Hey, great having you on today. Thank you very much. Coming up next, Jeff Goodman, Vice President of Hard Rock Casino Tejon. We'll be back right after this.
Game here, guys. This is Renegades football against Allen Hancock.
Oh, yes.
Given off, and a great tackle by Miles Poole, number 46, as he brings down number 24, Kyle Williams.
Miles Poole is playing out of his mind. Penetration by the whole defensive line, but he's just creeping from the backside, and that guy didn't have anywhere to go.
Welcome back to the Renegade Football Tailgate pregame show brought to you by Hard Rock Casino Tejon. And a special guest today, our benefactor from the Hard Rock Casino Casino. We don't have a hotel yet.
Not yet.
Jeff Goodman, Vice President of Casino Operations for the Hard Rock Casino Tejon. And Jeff, great to have you on the show today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, give us a little bit of information about yourself. I talked a little bit to Kathy about you earlier, and she gave me a couple of little nuggets about where you're from and what you're doing and what the project that you just finished. And it seems like you got a nice cookie cutter to start over again.
Sure. Born and raised in the Bahamas. That's where I started in the gaming hospitality business. Moved around the country for the past 20-plus years. Been in the gaming industry for just over 30 years, and really enjoy it. I can't think of anything else I would rather be doing at this point.
Well, I'm going to hit you with some hard-hitting questions right off the bat.
Sure.
I told him I was going to give him softballs, but I don't know how much I really want to make it too easy on him.
Sure.
But I'm going to ask you point blank. Tell us about the seating capacity of your table games and your gaming floor. Let's hear something about that.
So we will have just over 60 games in the casino, and you multiply that by, I would say, at least 5 per table. And that'll kind of give you the capacity that we have for tables.
Are you guys going to offer any like high roller VIP type setups or tables for that?
Oh yes, we will. We have high limit slot room. We have a high limit table room. So anyone looking to play it big, come and see it.
Yeah, I'm not much of a high roller, but I'll keep that in mind for people that I know that are.
Sure.
How's the casino going to integrate food, beverage, and entertainment with the gaming experience?
Well, it's Hard Rock, so the entertainment piece is all natural. We have some great outlets that's going up right now in the casino, and you will be very happy with what we have to offer.
So you guys have been out in the community, getting ready to hire a lot of people, and you've had a couple of already pretty interesting hiring sprees that you've been going through. Talk to us about dealers and like dealer training school and what's the curriculum like and how does that work?
Beautiful. So the dealer school started the 2nd of this month. We currently have about 180 students enrolled. That's going through learning the various styles of games that we will offer. And they'll spend the next few weeks continuing the school and eventually graduate, and you will see them out on the casino floor when we open.
What kind of opportunities for advancement with the casino operations are there for entry-level staff?
Oh, there's a lot, and it's based on all the different positions we have. You know, people come and people go, so that always opens up opportunity for others to move up within their respective areas.
Yeah, what kind of ongoing training, continuing education do you offer for dealers that you have hired?
So what will happen even in this initial school, not everybody will graduate with all the games. And so even after we open, we'll continue to run the school, and those who don't have certain games will continue to go to school to learn those games.
Okay. What kind of table games are you guys going to offer?
Well, we have all your standard stuff: blackjack, craps, roulette, Pai-Gow poker, baccarat, and then a lot of the poker derivative games, UTH, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, and so on. So anything you can find out there, we'll have it.
Are you going to have any electronic tablet-style gaming or digital table games?
We will. We will have roulette, craps, and blackjack. If you are afraid to play those games in the live environment, you can on the electronic versions of those games.
What kind of game variants are unique to the Hard Rock Tejon? Are there any specific ones that are going to be unique to Hard Rock Tejon?
Not really unique to us. A game like roulette here in the state of California, it's a little bit different than it is in the commercial world where I came from, where you just use a ball and a wheel and that's it. Here it's a little bit different. You have to use either cards or some other form to make sure that the number that you call out is based on the cards or dice or tiles, I should say.
Okay,
sorry.
what's the best game to play?
Well, I would say blackjack, just because you're just counting to 21, so it's easy to learn. So I would definitely say if you're newbie to the table games, try blackjack.
Yeah, that was going to be actually my next question. What's the game that you recommend to people to play that don't know how to play, and how do they figure that out? Are you going to have any kind of teaching tables during certain times, or how's that going to work?
Great question. And yes, blackjack. If you go to a table, in many cases the dealer will help you out in terms of trying to help you understand basic strategy, what you should and shouldn't do based on the cards you have and based on the cards they have. Otherwise, after opening, we'll look to get some schools during the fine hours of the day that people can come in and learn to play the game.
Talk to us about the loyalty and rewards programs that Hard Rock Casino is offering.
So, and actually she just walked away, which is actually happens to be Kathy's area. But as you play, whether you play slots or table games, you earn rewards towards anything we offer. It could be food and beverage, gift shops, or anything like that. And when the hotel come online, it'll be the same thing.
Do you offer any progressive slots?
Oh, yes, we do. Lots of them.
Progressive slots are fun to play because, you have a chance of hitting pretty big.
That's right. And we will have probably some of the wide area over $1 million to start with. So
oh, goodness. Okay.
Come on in.
Yeah. How many jobs do you think are you guys expecting to fill in the facility down at Tejon?
Based on my understanding, it'll be we will end up with just over 1,000 people on property. It'll eventually level out to whatever that real number would be. But to start with, we'll be just over the 1,000 number.
So once again, everybody, Jeff Goodman, Vice President of Gaming Operations, thank you for joining us on the broadcast today. Great to see you. We'll be back with the final wrap-up overtime coming up just after this.
Game here, guys. This is Renegades football against Allen Hancock.
Oh, yes.
Given off and a great tackle by Miles Poole, number 46, as he brings down number 24, Kyle Williams.
Miles Poole is playing out of his mind, penetration by the whole defensive line, but he's just creeping from the backside, and that guy didn't have anywhere to go.
Welcome back to the Renegade Football Tailgate pregame show brought to you by Hard Rock Casino Tejon. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, I'm Tom Myers. Great to have everybody on the broadcast today. We are missing my broadcast partner, Mr. Vance Palm. He has come down with a little bit of an illness right now, but he will be back with us in 3 weeks for Renegade Homecoming. And actually, I was just informed by Bethany Rice that the Alumni Barbecue is coming up on October 11th for Homecoming. Be sure to join us at 11:30 to 3:30 over on the home side stands in the quad area over there, and we will be doing a live broadcast over there for our game day show starting at 2 o'clock. So looking forward to seeing everybody back here then. Until then, now it's time for game day predictions. And honestly, we're going to go just from the top of the screen and down. Golden West currently ranked number 4 in the state. They are 3-0, currently undefeated, and beat number 8 Riverside 2 weeks ago, and Hancock last week 55-0. A powerful offense behind quarterback Noah Banua. Using his legs to stretch the field, he's the third leading rusher on the squad, so looking for him to take off if he gets trapped in that backfield and unable to find anybody downfield. The linebackers are going to have to key in on him in order to contain him. Kendrick Thomas averaging 76.3 yards per game, 8.5 yards per carry. So he's going to do the heavy lifting in the backfield for the Rustlers today. And then Tanner Schmidt, Southern California Football Association Player of the Week. 247 yards so far in 3 games for receiving. He's averaging over 20 yards per catch. And Will McKissick, 6'3", 260-pound tight end with big play ability. Watch for him to kind of leak out in the flat. If they can't go downfield and find him, he'll be definitely an effect on the offense today. And defense, the defense forced 2 fumbles and intercepted 3 balls against Hancock. 5 turnovers because of the defense last week. Golden West held Hancock to 1 of 12 on 3rd downs. Golden West held Hancock to 159 yards of total offense. So Hancock really, no points on the board, but really got held on the defensive end by this squad for Golden West. Now, Bakersfield College is currently ranked 15th in the state with a record of 2-1. BC lost last week to number 5 ranked Ventura. So they go from number 5 to number 4 this week. So kind of running through the gauntlet. Last year they did lose by a score of 27-25 to this squad. And they lost last year. This was kind of a big staggering stat. They lost 5 games last year. But in those 5 games, it was a total of 12 points. So looking to include the opening season loss by Golden West, that was 27-25. Really, they were kind of in it every single game last year. We want to see a repeat of that this year. They just lost the game last week by a score of 7 points. Bubba Nettles, he's going to be on the offensive end today, rushing and receiving. Look for him, if he's healthy, to do really well today. And Ian Jernigan, he needs to hang on to the ball today. He coughed it up 2 times last week, but I'm looking forward to seeing if they have worked on him securing the ball, because he does have big playability and can make it down the field. And my tent is kind of blowing away here. I'm pretty sure that wasn't planned. Okay. Dylan Johnson in the receiving end. He had 212 yards receiving, and Chad Sable has 118. Both of them had over 90 yards receiving last week. Look for them to get down the field today and score for the Renegades. On the defensive end, the Renegades need to stack the box because this is a run-heavy team by the Rustlers. Double up on coverage of Tanner Schmidt and kind of keep him to at least a few yards receiving, not too many. He does have big playability, and they are going to have to find a way to have an answer for Noah Banua today. Once again, he is the 3rd leading rusher on this squad, and he can take off if there's nothing down the field for him. The linebackers for Bakersfield College are going to have to go ahead and rustle him and keep him in containment. This week, so my prediction for the game last week, as we discussed my game last week, 2 weeks ago rather, I had said that the Renegades were going to score 33 points. And I said they were going to score 31 points, and they actually scored 33 points. But 2 of those points were a safety that the defense got. So I'm still holding to my 31 points that I was pretty much right on the dot in that game. I did expect that Hancock was going to score more points than they did. The Renegades did a fantastic job on defense, holding them to 7 points after that initial opening score by Hancock. So the Renegades made good adjustments. They'll need to do that today against this Golden West squad. So my prediction for the game today is Bakersfield College 35 points and Golden West 28. Renegades hopefully looking to get payback on the loss from last year. So once again, great to have everybody here today. We had a fantastic group of guests today. Once again, I wanted to go back and I wanted to thank Fred Arbonne. Once again, he is the 2025 Kern County Superintendent of Schools finalist for Teacher of the Year. He, along with 2 others. Bethany Rice, who is actually holding down my awning right now so it doesn't blow away. She is, once again, the Archives Director for Bakersfield College. And, of course, our guest from our benefactor, Hard Rock Casino Tejon, Jeff Goodman, Vice President of Casino Operations. Great to have him on the show today. We look forward to having you back here next year, of course, or next week. Don't forget, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks rather. I'm a little off. It's October 11th. It'll be Bakersfield College's homecoming game, so be sure to join us for that game. And also, get your barbecue tickets once again by going to supportbc.org. It's going to be a great day for alumni to come and hang out. Once again, it's going to be over on the other side of the home side stands, over in the quad over there. We will be broadcasting live at 2 o'clock, our pregame show. Once again, myself and Vance Palm. We look forward to having everybody back here. Until then, once again, I'm Tom Myers. So long, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield